Well, let's get a few more questions before we wrap things up. And this next one, Jim, we have a few that were sent in about TNA recently. This one was sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Justin. What are your thoughts on the Steiner math promo? If you have not seen it, can you please play it? Well, we've seen it.
I was there when he did it.
What do you remember about it? Was it an instant classic as soon as it happened?
Well, yes, because it was Scotty doing a promo. There was nothing. That was not written, obviously. I mean, you couldn't write it. And there was just some line that had been suggested to Scott with the percentages in it or something that he fixated on. I can't remember exactly where the genesis of it came up, but as they were rolling, he just did that promo off the top of his head. It didn't make any sense because a lot of his promos didn't. But as we've mentioned, the guys that had personality could do promos that if you wrote down and examined the words didn't make a lick of sense, but it sounded great because of the way they did it. And it was a tickle and it was funny. But then there was a couple of times everybody made such a big deal out of it, he tried to revisit it and try to do it again, but on purpose this time instead of just doing it. And you could never do it on purpose again. And then people have done takeoffs on it and made fun of it and whatever and doing, homages or whatever. But it's just one of those things that the reason why it got over was because it wasn't written. It wasn't planned. It was a guy just saying something off the top of his head and and it was funny.
Is Scott Steiner in on the joke?
Yes. Scott graduated college. He has a degree from a major university. He's not an imbecile. He's not a goddamn nuclear physicist or potentially the most cunning linguist in the world, but he knew that it was a bunch of gaga, and he knew that it was funny, and he knew why people were laughing at it, but he was doing a fucking promo. So he knows that now some of the words that he uses in place of potentially more popular and correct words in specific places, sometimes that's an accident, and sometimes it's not. But he's in on it enough to know afterwards, especially if it gets a pop that he said a word that probably didn't fit there, but it fit because it was coming from Scott Steiner. No, he's not oblivious to the reason why people were entertained by some of those promos. No, he's in on it.